Hello everyone, welcome to another Tony Carnes deck profile. I'm going to be going over the Nekroz deck that I used in Regionals of Seattle with a 6-2 record, netting me 22nd place, my national invite out of a 254 person event. So let's get started. This is a 41 card deck, by the way. Spells, we got the Preparation Right, we got 3 Rotas, 2 Nekroz Cycle, 2 Nekroz Mirror, 2 Nekroz Kaleidoscope, Book of Moon, 2 Forbidden Lance, and a Book of Eclipse. Now, I'll give you the reasoning for why I'm only using 1 book compared to a lot of people are using 3. My build's a little bit different. I mean, I'm not going to say that this is a build that I plan to keep. It's just the one I used at Regionals, and I'll tell you about the changes that I would personally make. Let's go to monsters. We got 2 Effect Failure, 3 Senju, 3 Manju, 1 Destiny Hero Doomlord, and if you don't know what this card is, then you probably didn't play back in 2008. The Jin, Releaser of Rituals, 2 Shurit, 3 Valkyrus, 2 Brionek, 1 Gugnir, 1 Trish Shula, 1 Decisive, 3 Unicorn, 2 Kloss Solus. Now, a lot of people drop Decisive, but I find that it helps towards OTKs. I mean, I OTK with it a few times. It also helps in those rogue situations where they set some monsters. It actually would have won me one of my games if I would have just gone for it, but I'll let you know about that. I'll tell you about my match losses and the way I lost them and what I could have done to probably win. I can't count the monsters right now, but I'm guessing it's like 20-something. My only 2 traps in the deck are Vanity's Emptiness and Crush Card Virus. Now, that's what the Doom Lord is in here for. 41 card deck. Obviously, Rhoda becomes a Djinn out because Doom Lord's hard to stop when summoned. And he's my only main decked Crush Card Virus tribute, aside from the Rhapsody in my extra, but we'll get to that soon. If I were to make any changes with this deck, it would be either to add in a DD Warrior Lady, and trust me, that card has been putting in a lot of work lately for a lot of people. People say you can Valk it, but DD Warrior Lady is a 4-star Rhoda searchable monster, which really matters. And also, if they make a Djinn play and you're summoning DD Warrior Lady, if they do have Valk, they're probably left with no really decent cards in their hand, enough for you to come back and fight easily. But that's why I only run 1 Eclipse, is because a Doom Lord is a searchable Djinn out plus Crush Card Virus target. So I would either add a DD Warrior Lady or I would take out Doom Lord and Crush Card altogether, because Crush Card, you might as well just Mind Crush if that were the case. I mean, Crush Card, every single match I went into, drawing Crush Card would have done some work, but the one time I did draw it, the guy was drawing just as bad as I was, and he had like Eclipse and freaking junk in his hand, mirrors and shit. Let's go to my sideboard. We got 1 Kaiku, 1 Sideblocker, 2 Shared Rides, 1 Maxi, 1 Dance Princess. Oh wait, it looks like I have a second Sideblocker. Let's put this little retard over here. I never sided 2, but this is just what I had for the regionals. Okay, so Dance Princess, 3 Decree, 2 MST, 3 Mind Crush. Decree puts in work versus that random stuff, helped me versus Telenites or whatever. The Mind Crush is obviously for the mirror. Dance Princess. Now, I'm going to explain this one. A lot of Shadal decks have been side decking Secret Village of the Spellcasters, and the only thing you could summon to stop that is Effect Failure, and there's really no way to describe how infinitely useful this card is because it's searchable, and summoning it during the Secret Village will give you the option to drop everything you need to drop. So basically, it's an out to Secret Village, which really comes in handy. 1 Maxi, I don't run 2 because it's like I didn't have the side deck space. I mean, I might run 2, but it's always super useful against stuff. I don't see why not use it, but that's what it does. Sideblocker. Now, they ruled at my regional for the first 5 rounds because the head judge was incompetent that a Sideblocker could not shut down continuous effects such as Secret Village, Vanity's Emptiness, or other cards. And as soon as they fixed that, I was not aware of it, but at least I didn't have to really use it for such situations in general. Let's go to the extra. 2 Herald of Arc, 1 Shooting Quasar, 1 Star Eater, 1 Leo, always useful for that trap card that lowers the monster levels of the cards in your hand, just in case. I don't know what it's called, some degenerate shit, but it's also good if you like Trish Baylor against Burning Abyss and just seal the win. Diamond Direwolf, Rhapsody, Gaga Cowboy, Lavalval Chain, Honor Arc, Emerald, Abyss Dweller, Ragna Zero, Exiton Knight, and Castell. Now, Honor Arc is really good because if you have Vanity and make Honor Arc, they're only real out as an MST. They can't really get over it. So, because if they have Dark Hole, Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, doesn't matter. They have to move your Honor Arc off the field somehow, and there's only a few combination of cards that aren't MST that could do it. And it's just super good that way. All right, let's get to the decks that I lost to at my regional. And they all the Nekroz players I played, they were super good players with a history of great event tops and stuff like that. The first person I lost to out of 2 matches was a guy who he shared righted me, and I had a chance to go for OTK and hope he didn't have Valk, and chances of him killing me if I did not go for it were low, but he had every card to do so. I passed my turn instead of trying for game, and I realized that after everything I would have searched during the shared ride, the only factor would have been the last card he would have drawn because he did not have Valk at all during his turn. So that sucked for me. And then game 2, I was sleepy. Just to let you know, I was super sleepy, and I took my side, and I forgot to like put it in the main deck and switch it with the cards that I meant to take out. So I stepped into a field full of oopsie daisies. Second one I lost, I could have put a game. He degened me. I didn't have an out. Game 2, I could have put him. I put enough power on the board to deal enough damage to put him to 100, and we were just drawing back and forth bad. And if he was at 100 less, I would have won that game at least. If my Kaiku was a side blocker instead, I would have won. But I had side blocker, and I had to work with that. So that's just basically how I lost all my games that I did lose. But I did win 6 of my games. Obviously, I was playing great, and I was playing fantastically. Crush card, I only saw it active once. Didn't matter otherwise. I would have also showcased the Nekroz deck I used at YCS Tacoma, but it was so generic that it was just like everybody else's, so I was like, no way, I'm not going to show this deck. It probably looks like everybody else's deck. But aside from the DD Warrior Lady I would put in over the Crush card or Doom Lord, or just to add it to there as like another degen out, but it would be a 42 card deck, then there's really nothing I would change about this deck currently as it is. Once again, this deck got me a 6-2 record, gave me my invite. It was pretty solid with it. There's nothing much I would do with this kind of build. I mean, the both Eclipses were pretty solid. Oh, and by the way, if anybody was wondering about Lance, you make the Djinn set Lance, you win. That's just a fact. That unless they do that DD Warrior Lady crap, and trust me, people do it. I had Eclipse for the guy, a second guy I lost to, but he had the Lance, and I was like, wow, that sucks. Yeah, but let's see, anything else I would need to mention? The extra deck is also like everybody else's, like super. If I were to make any other legitimate changes during a bigger event, I would probably main deck the shared rides. The first guy I lost to was main decking shared rides, and he beat me, even though I could have probably pushed through his stuff, but I made the smart decision and the logical decision to wait a turn because most likely I wasn't going to die, but it just so happens that this game is crazy. People do that Gishki chain thing where they stack with Gishki chain and then upstart into a card that they want. It's kind of like duality. I don't agree with that kind of thing because not only do random decks use Crush card to take out Gishki chains, it's like Gishki chain will not net you the exact card you want even if you stack it with upstart, etc. This is basically about it. Don't have very many pro tips. I mean, it's Nekroz, and I mean, you have to be pretty good to control the deck. Once again, this is a deck that I used at regionals, not the deck that I prefer to might use afterwards. I might change it up. I probably will change it up. But definitely love the style of the deck. It's just I wish it could have gotten me just one more win for that top 8. But you know, Yu-Gi-Oh, you never know. All right, well, that's my Nekroz deck profile. I hope all of you have enjoyed to look at this list at least. It's a pretty solid build. I'm never going to lose the locals ever again, you know, but like bigger competitions, if you know what you're doing, this is pretty much a build that you can go with and try it out. You could probably test out my changes too, like the whole DD Warrior Lady thing. Trust me on that DD Warrior Lady thing if you haven't already learned that that's a great tech. Also, if I didn't explain exactly what Doomlord does, but you should probably read about it if you have no idea what it does. If you're a player from 2008, you probably definitely know what it does. It was a very popular card back in that time. But yeah, there you go. Nekroz deck profile. Let me know how you think in the comments below, and just in case you have some tech ideas that I don't. Ciao.